Welcome to our video series on more advanced eBay market research techniques. In this video, we'll explore the top sellers option in the TeraPeak category submenu. Okay, through the main menu again, and if you go to the category submenu and top sellers, at the top level here, you see the same information as before. It's listing the categories and subcategories from high value to low value and color coding it. So let's again go through to laptops and notebooks, which is a high total sales category. And let's go through to Dell, which is a high total sales subcategory. And what you see here are the top sellers, the top eBay sellers in that particular subcategory. It gives you their eBay ID and lists them. And again, you can also sort these columns by total sales, total listings, and so on. And okay, number one, total sales $217,000 during a 7-day period. Let's actually change that to 30 days. Okay, so I've changed the information we're seeing to a 30-day period, and you can also change the value here, but it doesn't appear to have any effect on the table, the information presented in the table. Okay, we see the top 5 first of all, so rank 1, ID, and total sales in the last 30 days is actually just over $800,000. Total listings, 2,910. Successful listings, 2,173. Bids, over 65,000. Items sold, and okay, you can see that in some cases it's more than one item per listing. There are more items sold than there are total listings. Sold price, this must work out as the average sold price. And I just double-checked that with a calculator, and it is. The average is the total sales divided by the number of items sold. And the sell-through rate, which is of course the percentage of successful auctions against total auctions. And the sell-through rate is 74.67%. Again, you can sort these columns if you wish by bids, successful listings, and so on. I won't come to this just yet, but you can click on any of these IDs, and I'll open it in a new window, and that takes you through to the Seller Report page, which will be covered in greater detail in a later video. Okay, let's close that. So again, how is this information useful? Actually, it's very useful to let you know if there's money to be made in that category. Of course, the question becomes, are these items being sold at a profit, at a decent profit? And if not, is the seller simply using this as a way to create customers to sell them other items? That's really more of a product sourcing question rather than a research question, and that really depends on where you can source products from. But also, in hot categories, so to speak, categories with lots of sales, then if the price of what you're offering is reasonable, then it's always a lot more likely that it will be sold, of course, because busy categories are categories that people spend a lot of time browsing and looking through. For example, when I was looking for a new laptop a couple of years ago, I did go to the laptop category within eBay, and I spent a couple of days just keeping an eye on things and looking through various listings. Certain categories do have people spending a lot more time there. They aren't so much impulse purchases, they're purchases that people really research and spend a lot of time in that category and see exactly what's going on. So obviously, in a category where buyers spend a lot of time, it's more likely that you'll make a sale than in categories where the items are much more impulse purchases, and people don't really spend a lot of time in the category, so it's easy to get ignored that way. Whereas in the laptops and notebooks category, where people spend a lot of time looking through the listing, trying to find good deals, trying to find exactly the kind of computer they're looking for, getting to know the seller, and so on. Okay, so there's obviously a lot of money to be made in this category. Again, I'm not sure how much profit there is, but that's a sourcing question that I can't really answer here. But still, a lot of money. top seller over $800,000, and these listings in just the last 30 days, and effectively 75% of those are successful. That's a really good sign. And the next one down, a big drop-off at $272,000, only 352 listings, 318 of them are successful, so there's a 90% sell-through rate, and 603 items sold, so more than one per auction, and at a higher average price than the number one seller. So here would be an interesting item to research to see why he's getting a lot more money per item than the first seller. And the third item, OK, $265,000, quite a lot more listings than this one, and about $100 less per sale on average, but an incredible sell-through rate of 99.46%. So you want to watch what he's doing. So really, you can find out what's working in your category if there's money to be made, and if there is, research the successful sellers and see what they're doing so well. See what's making them a success. Are their prices incredible? Or do they do a really very good job on the auctions? Do they have reassuring sales copy? Do they have a strong guarantee? Are they easy to reach? For example, if someone's buying a laptop, they may be a lot more interested in being able to call someone up and asking them some questions rather than having to do everything by email. So that's maybe something to consider. What's making this seller make more money on average than the other sellers? Then, on the other side, you can take a look at sellers not doing so well, such as this one with effectively a 47% sell-through rate. And okay, a much higher average selling price, so maybe he's selling much higher valued items, which could be the reason for the lower sell-through rate. But if you take a look at his auctions, you can find out if maybe that's the case, or perhaps you could find other things that are wrong, such as perhaps poor sales copy, contributing to why he's getting a much lower sell-through rate. But just at a preliminary glance, I'd guess that it's probably because of the much higher prices. Okay, this one's about the same, approximately a 50% sell-through rate, and high-value items, whereas this one with an 87.5% sell-through rate and also a high-value item. So what's he doing right? So really, this could give you a clue about what kinds of products you want to be selling within the market. For example, do you want to be selling high-value laptops or low-value laptops, second-hand or older model laptops? Doing this kind of research will help you be clear about what kind of market you want to be in and compete in. Then you can research the particular sellers within the category and see what's working for them, and then you can duplicate it. Obviously, don't just copy them, but if they're all putting their phone numbers in the auctions, then maybe that's something you'll have to consider rather than just keeping in touch with your customers by email. So this can be incredibly valuable intelligence for helping you be more successful in your existing categories or getting into new categories on a very strong footing.